It's a good idea to start saving for college as soon as possible. If you start from birth, you're going to accumulate more of the money from interest than from the actual contributions, and that allows the savings to grow from the power of compound interest. Time is your greatest asset. A good suggestion is to try to make the saving automatic so that you don't have to think to make the contribution to the savings plan. Many savings plans allow you to set up automatic transfers from your bank account to the savings plan, or from your check, or from your paycheck to the college savings plan. This means that you set it up, you forget about it, the money isn't in your bank account where you can be tempted to spend it, and your savings plan will start growing automatically. This also gets you the benefit of dollar cost averaging, which is one of the better blind investment strategies. One of the best vehicles for saving for college is a 529 college savings plan, which is a tax advantage plan, sort of like a 401k or an IRA, but for college savings. Money that you contribute to the plan is with after-tax dollars. Any earnings on that money in the plan is tax deferred, and if you use that money to pay for qualified higher education expenses, it's completely tax-free. About 32 states and the District of Columbia also provide a full or partial state income tax deduction or tax credit for your contributions. So you can contribute money and get a little bit money back on your income taxes, which is like getting free money. As a good rule of thumb, you should not try to save the full cost of a college education. That is often an insurmountable target for most families. It may give you sticker shock and you might not save at all. Rather, the cost of college education is spread out over time. Part of it is going to come from savings, that's past income. Part of it's going to come from current income and financial aid. And part of it's going to come from student loans, which is future income. So I recommend that you use the 1/3 rule. 1/3 from college savings, 1/3 from current income and financial aid, and 1/3 in the form of student loans. Now, college costs increase by a factor of 3 over any 17-year period. So if you combine the 1/3 rule with the factor of 3 increase in student aid, that suggests that your savings target should be the cost of a 4-year college education the year the child was born. If you think the child is going to go to state school, use that as the basis for how much you should save. If you think your child is going to go to the Ivy League, use that instead. But the total cost of college education the year the child is born is a good savings target. You should always save in the parent's name, not in the child's name, because parent assets are assessed much more lightly than child assets. Child assets are assessed at a rate of 20%, whereas parent assets are often sheltered, and if the money isn't sheltered, it's a worst case rate of 5.64%. So if you expect your child to qualify for any need-based financial aid, don't save in the child's name, save in the parent's name. 529 college savings plan have a special benefit that money in those plans are automatically considered to be a parent asset, not a child asset, even if the account is owned by the student. Money in 529 plans are treated more favorably than just investing in a regular brokerage account. They also are tax advantaged. Every state offers a college savings plan, a 529 plan, but you're not restricted to your own state's plan. You can choose any state's plan. I recommend that you use a direct sold plan, which comes directly from the state, and not use an advisor sold plan, because the advisor sold plans add on extra fees that defray some of the tax savings. You'll be better off investing in a direct sold plan. And I also recommend taking a close look at the fees. First, look at your state's plan, especially if there's a state income tax deduction, but you should also look at some of the states that have the lowest fees, typically fees under 1%. Most of these plans involve a variety of index funds, like an S&P 500 index or a total stock market index and a bond index. There really isn't any complexity to choosing what plans you should invest in other than minimizing the fees. A good rule of thumb is to use an age-based asset allocation fund. It starts off aggressive when the child's a newborn. As college approaches, the mix of stocks and bonds and other forms of investment becomes more and more conservative until when the child is just about ready to enroll in college, less than 20% of the money should be in stocks. And this is an important lesson from 2008 when the S&P 500 went down by 38%. If you were in an all-stock fund, you would have lost 38% of your investment. If you were in an age-based asset allocation fund and your child was about to enroll in college, then 20% of a 38% loss is less than an 8% loss. So you would have sharply reduced the potential losses. And the idea is when a child's a newborn, you have a lot of time to recover from mistakes, and the total dollar amount of the losses will be smaller because you'll have less money in the plan.